What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 3 of the cross-platform podcast. And we're going to dive right in and just talk about what we did this week. This is the first. I think we're going to do this every week. Just kind of let everybody know what's going on, get into the lives of us. And of course, with me, as always, Gordy Mills.
Hey.
Mike on Skype.
Hey, how's it going?
And I'm that one, Heath. And so, Gordy, what'd you do this week?
Did my bathroom.
That's
ripped out the floor, put down a new floor.
That's some real adulting shit right there.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
I'm still sore from it and just dirty.
You smell.
I bet.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I probably do. You know, I was doing grout up to like half an hour before I came over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, good. But I don't feel bad about there being all kinds of dog hair all over you from my dog.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's your fault for wearing a black shirt. And I have a white dog.
Yeah.
Mike, what about you? What did you up to this week?
Not a whole lot of anything, really. Relaxed, worked, and when I wasn't doing one of those, playing Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2, nice. We'll get into that a little bit later. So I probably had the most exciting week out of all of us, I would say. Not to brag or
I would
anything.
say.
Most exciting and also the saddest, probably. I had the opportunity to go to the some of the World Series games when they were home. I didn't go to Game 7 because it was my sister's turn, but you know, she knows I hate her for that. But being a diehard Cleveland Indians fan, I wasn't too heartbroken that I wasn't there for that insane, final game.
Indians lost.
Yeah, they did. I'm over it. I mean, it was a great series. I give all the credit in the world to Cubs. They played an amazing series. I mean, went to Game 7 in the 10th inning. You can't really.
Yeah, I mean to go into overtime in
Overtime.
I mean to tie up the series and
he
then
means
that final
extra
game.
innings. I'm sorry, internet.
Well, it's the same thing, right?
Okay.
I don't know. Once you sports ball one, you sports ball all.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, what to go into the final game of the series,
Mm.
to tie it up and take it into whatever the sudden death round is, whether it's extra innings or overtime or
Sure.
a fifth quarter. No.
Yeah. But yeah, it was intense. I'm glad I did it. The atmosphere was absolutely incredible. It was a once in a lifetime. Considering these two teams, probably legitimately a once in a lifetime opportunity, seeing as how neither of those teams had won a championship in a long ass time.
108 years and 68 years,
yes,
respectively. Yeah.
So
now
yeah,
Cleveland's has the longest. Stretch?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think so. Awesome.
This really was the Apocalypse series.
I know it was. I saw that.
So the world is now coming to an end, right?
According to that tweet, I saw a tweet that it was making the rounds that somebody in like 2013 or 2012, or I forget what the year it was, but it was years ago that they predicted that Cubs and Indians Game 7, extra innings, and then the apocalypse is the exact tweet I saw, and I thought that was I don't know if it was doctored. I just because I like shit like that, I'm gonna assume that it's real.
Pretty
and
convenient
that
something like that comes out after it happens.
I know. So it's probably fake. Knowing the internet, it's probably fake. But yeah, so that was my week. Great joy and then crushing disappointment. But when he did hit that tying home run in the, 8th or 9th, I did jump around my condo to the point where I twisted my ankle and my dog was asleep and I scared the shit out of my dog.
Nice.
So I was limping around work the next day. But
yeah, I wasn't watching.
Shocker.
Right. I kind of like keep up to date on my phone. I'll just go into Google and type in Indians and it'll show me the score and what inning they're in. And it was I don't know, it was like wow, they had that up.
Yeah.
And then the next morning I saw that it didn't happen.
Yeah. And then I went to the Ohio State game that weekend and they won, so I felt better about it. I have a very short memory when it comes to
that weekend.
stuff like that.
Wasn't that yesterday?
Well, since we were no, it was yeah. Okay, never mind. Cut that part out. That'll hit the editor room floor. Sorry. Really. Okay.
I'm leaving it in.
No, Jesus. My brain doesn't work. We record this at the end of the week. Give me a break.
Yeah. So we just got done watching Walking Dead.
We did. And
Wow.
yeah, this episode was very different from the ones we've seen
Mike, what did you think?
before. Or already.
Daryl, man.
Daryl,
I
man.
loved the Daryl episode.
Yeah.
I mean, being able to see kind of his breakdown, or, well, I mean, it's not really a breakdown. He's standing pretty strong.
Yeah.
But it did make me really sad when he kind of told the guy, he's like, you know what? I understand why you came back. He's like, that's why I can't. And I'm like, oh, poor Daryl.
So did you take I was thinking about that when he said that. Did you take that as he said that because he doesn't think he has anyone left to protect, or
I
that he feels the opposite, like that he can't do it because he needs to protect these people?
I I think it has to do with his current situation, right?
Mhm.
He knows he has to protect people, his group that he's no longer with, but they're not with him right there in that situation,
Right.
so he can
Right.
stand as strong as he wants.
Right. That's
And
kind of how I
that's
took
kind
it
of how
too.
I took it. Like Dwight's wife was right there with him, so to keep him alive, like
To keep them both
she
alive.
offered himself,
Yeah.
and then he kind of turned and became one of Negan's guys to keep them both alive. Right. All of his people are not in the castle with him, so he's kind of doing the same thing, but I guess from the other side of it,
Sure.
where he.
And I think,
Sorry, go on.
all right, so with Daryl, I guess the way I feel is he can stand up to Negan and be kind of the asshole that he wants to be, because he knows that he's not going to get rid of him because he's a good hunter, so he's going to try to get him on his side.
Right. And that brings up, like, why is Negan so fascinated with him? I mean, he's a good hunter, sure, but he's kind of a wild card. Why risk the balance that apparently he has with his own people by bringing in this outsider of a group that has notoriously slaughtered his people? Why do you
Does
think
he
he's
know that?
so that yeah, remember in the first episode he's like, you guys killed a shit ton of my people.
But does he know that it was Daryl?
Well, I mean, it's part of the group. I'm assuming he just assumed that everyone had a hand in it. But I don't know if he knows it's Daryl per se, but yeah, why the interest, do you think? Just because he's a good hunter? Just because he seems like a strong individual? Because I don't know. Clearly, he doesn't know Daryl like we do, but
Right.
I don't know if I would necessarily risk bringing that into my group that I seem to already have control of.
I
But
wonder if Dwight reported back
yeah, maybe.
on how he was.
Yeah, that's true. I also liked that episode how it kind of tied in their first interaction with Daryl and Dwight and his
Yeah.
wife, who I can't remember her name for some reason.
Sasha?
No. Anyways, the hot wife, as Negan called her, because they met before.
Stacy?
Doesn't matter. The internet will correct us. Because they met before in the woods, and had their interaction, which was apparently when Dwight was running away with
Right.
his wife and his wife's sister. Because I vaguely remember them having the medication,
Mhm.
and I think Daryl was trying to get some, or they were both on the same run for medication. I don't know. But I like how they were calling all of that back and bringing it full circle, and how Dwight went to the underpass where Daryl and Rosita and red-haired Abraham met.
Joe?
Yeah, redhead Joe.
There's no Joes.
I don't know. Met them like on the road, and they had the roadblock where they had just found that rocket launcher, and
Right.
they blew up. He revisited that, scorched earth on the freeway, and the bodies of the people he knew were there, and they were all eaten, and it was this gruesome scene. And I just liked they're rebuilding
Yeah.
Dwight's story, because I'm pretty sure he's going to have some kind of, I would assume, because they're doing this, he's going to have some pivotal role upcoming in the season. Because they're really hitting that seed that, man, Negan really messed his life up. So that
Right.
I know what happens in the comics, but
Yeah.
they're really hitting that hard
Early too, yeah.
and early, yeah.
So what do you think about that grab that the show did to try to get the fans to reel the fans back in after they maybe thought it was too much in the premiere? With,
So
like all the Team Daryl fans,
so I made a joke to him when Daryl was revealed in his little cell. He was naked. He's butt ass naked. And I was like, this is their apology to all the female fans out there for being such a violent first
right.
episode. And and the male fans out there too. I'm sure there are quite a few who
Yeah, but I mean, he was like in a little ball,
well,
cold. You can't look at that and be happy.
I'm sure somebody looked at that and was happy.
I've got some people at work that I'm sure were like really excited about that shot.
I'm sure that's some weird fetish out there. They like dirty, balled
I don't
up,
know about
half
the
naked men.
tortured
That
prisoner
disturbs me.
thing.
But yeah, that was I don't know. There hasn't been a lot of nudity in the show, so
No,
that was a little surprising, I thought.
because it's AMC. I don't think they're going to show that.
Well, I mean, not full on nudity, but I mean, we see butt cheeks here and there on shows on AMC.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the episode I thought was kind of structured a little bizarre. It was kind of, there were some parts that I was kind of confused on where we were, and the picture that he gave Daryl in the cell, I couldn't really see that all that clearly. I'm assuming that was the picture that they
Yeah,
took
I'm pretty
of,
sure that was Glenn
yeah, of Glenn
because
at
they had
the
just
end.
told him that he was responsible for his death.
Right. Which is low blow.
Yeah.
And then they switched
Yeah, and
up the torture song.
True.
yeah, then he cried. So I'm pretty sure that was Glenn.
Yeah.
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 But I'm excited to see where it goes from here, seeing as how, at the end of the episode, he's standing in front of Negan and he's basically like, hey, this could all be yours. You could live like a king. And all you got to do is, bend the knee and follow
Right.
our rules, and you could be golden. And I liked the way they delivered this is how you submit, is, and he asks, who are you? And everybody around him like responds, I'm Negan, or we're Negan, or whatever.
Which
You
I
thought
think
he was going to say it.
I did. Like that goes back to last season when they hit that little satellite camp that we thought was like the headquarters.
Right.
And Rick was like, who's your leader? Who is Negan? I want to meet Negan.
Mm.
And the one guy showed up like, I am Negan. And then they shot him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then other people came out and were like, I am Negan. I'm Negan. And like
Right.
made it clear that none of them are actually Negan,
Right.
but that they all say that they're Negan.
But it was a pretty awesome moment when, Daryl didn't submit to that, or didn't, give in. So I wonder what's next. And I don't know if we're necessarily going to find out next episode.
No, they're going to
considering
make us wait like 3 more episodes.
Yeah. Because well, it looks like the previews, we're finally going to see Negan back at Rick's camp, back at what is it? Where are they at?
Alexandria
Alexandria Hilltop Sanctuary. Those are the three. The three
Kingdom.
encampments in the kingdom. Yeah.
Sanctuary.
Isn't that what Negan's is called?
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, Good episode, I thought. Just structured kind of differently than the last few. But Walking Dead always ramps up in the end.
Right.
So I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, let's move on to our topics for the week. Mike, what do you got for us?
I've been playing a lot of Titanfall, which is a blast. And then the other day, Call of Duty came out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've been paying attention, it's not really had the greatest release. They split up the player base on PC pretty badly. And then the microtransactions, man, those are driving me crazy.
See, I didn't even know there
You
were
pay,
microtransactions. I haven't really been following. I must be growing up because I didn't go out and immediately buy Call of Duty this year.
yeah, the last Call of Duty that I was ever excited for was Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
And it's really funny because this latest one, Infinity
Infinite
Warfare, I think.
Warfare.
Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare, there we go. It actually comes with a remastered version
Right.
of Modern Warfare 2 if
Mhm.
you buy the digital deluxe or whatever the heck they
Which
call it.
is 80 or not $80, 80 or 90.
$90.
Yeah, but essentially you
So
get to. Is it just the multiplayer or is it single player and multiplayer of the remaster?
I believe it's both.
Okay, so essentially you get two games.
You don't get a toy with it.
Yeah.
Like you don't get
Well,
some.
that's the super deluxe version. I'm sure there's the hard
the
cover
Mega
and
Super Ultra
yeah,
Deluxe
which is like
$200
$120.
pack.
Yeah, see, this game's driving me crazy, and a lot of developers are going this way, right? You have your $60 base game,
Mhm.
which is nothing. And then if you really want to buy the game and buy the whole game, you spend $100. That comes with the game and the season pass.
Mhm.
And then what's even worse now is you have these microtransactions where you're paying, $1, $2, $3 a piece on a game you already spent $100 on.
Well, what are
Yeah.
what are you buying for microtransactions? Like what's for sale?
I haven't dug into finding out what the exact name of it, but it's like a loot crate, right?
Okay.
So you open up these little loot crates and out pop weapons, skins, things like that. And if you look at Team Fortress 2, right?
Mhm.
You have stuff that's cosmetic.
Right.
You're not going to be overpowered by wearing a hat. But with this, there's certain clothing items and certain gun variants you can only get from these loot crates.
Now, are
And they
those like?
do give you added stats.
I was gonna say, are those like overpowered stats? Like, do they kind of mess with the balance of the game?
It messes with the balance, but I don't think it's something that would be considered overpowered. Will it give you an advantage? Yeah. But I don't think it's enough that it's going to make you, turn into God mode. But
Yeah,
it's still
'cause, well,
unfair.
I know anytime microtransactions come in, there's always the fear of pay to win. You never want with the perfect microtransaction, universe. It's all cosmetic. You get different skins, you get different uh, you know, items of clothing or gear, but they don't affect your core stats. Now, it sounds like from what you're saying that it does affect your stats in some way, which that's not cool. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. I'd be curious to see what the community is saying about it. I haven't really looked into it because I didn't buy it.
Well, it is not selling well at all. The top. I was looking at some Steam stats, right? So that's just the PC side. I don't know about the console side because
Sure.
they don't really release these stats. But Infinite Warfare came out, and the peak players so far have been, I think, around 15,000, which is nothing for Call of Duty,
True.
and that's really low for them.
Well, I
So
mean,
people aren't
and
purchasing.
do you think that's quality of the product, or do you think that's because last week was Titanfall and the week before that was Battlefield 1?
I think it has a little bit to do with EA's strategy of pushing out two $60 AAA games before Call of Duty came out,
Mhm.
but the microtransactions definitely gave them, kind of a bad rap. But one of the things that really hit hard on the PC side, at least, if you guys haven't heard about this, the game came out on Microsoft, the App Store, right?
Mhm.
Windows App Store,
Right.
and it came out on Steam. Now, the PC segment, that's our you have your consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. And Xbox plays with Xbox players, PlayStation plays with PlayStation players,
Mhm.
and PC players play with PC players.
Mhm.
Activision, I have no idea why they thought this was a good idea. If you buy the game on Windows App Store, you can only play with other players that bought the game on the Windows App Store. If
Really?
you buy on Steam, you can only play with other players that bought it on Steam. It's like if me and you bought Call of Duty, you bought it at Walmart, I bought it at Target, and we can't play it together because of that. Like that was such a bonehead move.
Like
That
Grand
yeah,
Theft Auto, if you bought
that
it on
seems
Steam
crazy.
versus if you bought it from the Rockstar warehouse.
Oh, it's the same
Yeah.
there?
Oh.
Well, no,
Yeah. Oh,
you
okay,
as
okay.
long
I
as you were
gotcha.
on PC, you were able to play with each other. But that would be like if they split the player base
Yeah, that's a really
by
weird
how you
move.
purchased the game. Yeah, that would be
And I wonder if
It's
that has something
someone.
to do with because I know like Xbox Live and the Microsoft on the PC side, they're like merging. So if you, I may be getting this completely and totally wrong, but I thought at E3 they said something about how if you buy it through the Windows Store, you'll have it on Xbox as well, or you can kind of,
additionally they're starting to get to the point where if you buy Xbox games, you can play them on your Windows 10
or it's like a cross
PC.
buy.
Is that
Yeah,
okay?
I may have that completely wrong, so I forgive me if that is wrong. But yeah, that's not good. That's a really weird
Yeah. No.
decision.
Yes, and from everything I've read, everybody's saying that it was Activision's decision, not Microsoft's, not Steam's.
Hmm.
So that's really weird. And then, because someone put a picture on Reddit, some poor soul actually bought it on the Windows App Store, and there was only like two
Two,
people waiting
yeah,
for online matches.
I saw that.
Wow.
No, it was two people in the same match waiting for other players.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, the guy
and
was like,
Microsoft,
my brother was one of the two
yeah,
that were online trying to play.
Microsoft though, I definitely have to give them a thumbs up. They've been giving refunds to people so they can buy it on Steam.
Oh wow.
So that's not something they had to do, but they're being nice about it.
Right. Hmm. Yeah, I wonder how EA feels about that. I mean, it doesn't hurt them, I would
They're
imagine.
smiling.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of posts like, "Oh, I skipped Call of Duty. I'm buying Titanfall 2 now." I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah,
And that's what I've been playing. As well. I finished the campaign earlier this evening, right actually right before you got here.
Yeah.
Um, and it was good. It felt very good, very fluid. The motion in it is awesome. I didn't particularly like the last Call of Duties because they were getting into the whole jump jet running on walls thing, and I don't think it feels nearly as good as Titanfall does. The campaign itself is, you know, I felt like it was fairly short, probably 4 or 5 hours. I mean, I did it in two sittings over 2 days. Um, but I really did like the relationship between my pilot, and BT, the Titan that you're kind of forced to work with, not forced, but come to work with. Um, I haven't dove as deep into the multiplayer as I know you have, Mike, but
yeah. The multiplayer is so fantastic. I mean, it really does remind me of like Modern Warfare matches where everything's smooth, the gunplay feels great, and because the Respawn Entertainment was actually started from people who left Activision unhappy with
oh yeah,
the direction
yep,
Call of Duty was
I
going.
remember that
So
whole
yeah,
crazy lawsuit scenario.
Yeah,
it is
I remember that too.
it definitely has a Call of Duty feel to the gunplay, which I enjoy.
Hmm.
But the mechs, the gameplay modes, yeah, I've been playing multiplayer like crazy. I'm getting ready to regenerate, so
Now,
which is
who's the
Really
other
already?
studio?
Jeez.
Who's the other Call of Duty studio? It's like they take turns. Activision does one, and then it's Treyarch that does the other. Or
well,
There's
does
three
Activision
now.
publish
Activision
all?
publishes it. It's Infinity Ward,
Infinity
and
Ward. Okay.
Infinity
yeah,
Ward, Treyarch, and there's one more. There's three studios.
if it's a, I think if it's a Modern Warfare or Infinity Warfare, I think that's
That's Infinity
Infinity
Ward.
Ward,
Right.
and then because you can kind of tell from their naming conventions which studio did it.
Right. And then the Black Ops, Ghost,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess Black Ops 2 and 3, that was all Treyarch.
Yeah.
Okay. I've always, I guess, been more partial to those um, than the Modern Warfare ones. This, I guess, this whole discussion has me thinking like, is there a way that microtransactions could be done well?
Well, there's plenty of
They
games that do
y-
microtransactions well. I mean, I think Blizzard games, Blizzard with let's say Overwatch, use
Hmm.
that as an example. I think their microtransactions are perfect. You can earn in-game currency to buy the loot crates,
Right.
and inside the loot crates are emotes for your character. They're dancing around in the
Hmm.
match. Different costumes, different skins, and nothing. No XP boosts, no changes in your stats. It's
Right.
all cosmetic. And that's the way to do it. I mean, there are plenty of games. I can't think of a ton off the top of my
I
head at the moment.
guess maybe maybe this is just what I'm most familiar with, but I kind of like how Rockstar did it with Grand Theft Auto in the sense that their microtransactions are just in-game currency as well. And so you can
but
either, huh?
I was just gonna say you could almost see that as almost like a pay to win though, because I mean
I mean,
you could just
well,
buy your way to have everything.
to have the stuff that you want,
Can you
yeah,
buy
Yeah, like me.
give
but
access to different weapons and
no, you buy the money, and then the money is like you gotta get to certain levels to unlock stuff,
mhm,
but you can just spend the money on whatever, whether it be guns or cars or clothes or apartments or whatever.
yeah.
Here's the other thing. So there's a bunch of new cars that come out in these new these new update packs. I'm looking back and thinking back to like Battlefield 2, Bad Company 2, or Battlefield Bad Company 2, where they would release maps, like DLC map packs,
Mhm.
and you had to buy the map packs if you wanted to play on them. But then you could only play with other people that bought the map packs,
Well, sure.
unless you went on one of the older maps.
Right.
Um, but you had to buy those.
Mhm.
Like, if we think of all of the content updates and content releases that Rockstar's done with Grand Theft Auto, and they haven't charged a penny for any of those. All of that DLC has been free.
Yeah.
They add it to the game,
Very true.
and then if you want it, you you spend your in-game money on the stuff, and that's money that, and they scale the pricing based on that. So that's money that either you grinded your ass off to get or got hacked, uh, or you bought it with their microtransactions being like the shark cards.
But it's not free.
Well,
It's it's that is all paid for by the fact that you can buy in-game money with real world money.
well, exactly.
And
But it's
so
it's not,
because they don't do that with in Call of Duty or anything
it
like
costs
that.
a lot of money to make that stuff too. But
Well,
in Call
sure.
of Duty, like you alienate all the people that didn't buy the DLC, you know? Um, which if you've ever tried to play with a group of friends and some of them have the DLC and some of them don't, that gets pretty frustrating.
True.
And so in this case, like, you don't want to buy the DLC, you don't get to drive that sweet cool car that Kevin has or whoever else has.
Right. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a slippery slope.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's where you see a lot of the companies coming up with these season passes, where it's like, oh, you buy the $60 game, and then you buy a $30 pass, so you get all the DLC.
Right.
I really respect Respawn with their latest decision with Titanfall 2, because they've said, you know what, we're not going to have any paid content. Every map pack that comes out, every new weapon that comes out, everybody gets it for free, so we don't split up our player base, which is super smart idea. But I don't mind microtransactions. You guys, I don't think are very familiar with Heroes of the Storm. It's a MOBA
Yeah.
by
I'm
Blizzard, actually.
We need to play apparently cuz
Yeah, I
I get
love.
skins in Overwatch if we play matches together.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
But Heroes of the Storm, it's 100% free. You can go and download that game without paying a single penny,
Mhm.
and then you get a certain amount of heroes for free. and you play matches. And then if you want, you can buy additional heroes, you can buy additional skins, additional mounts, and what winds up happening is you spend way more than $60.
Right.
And that's good. I don't mind supporting Blizzard, but they did it right. They had a free game
Mhm.
or a $20 or $30 game. But when you charge someone $60 or $100 for a base game, and then want to make them pay $2, for a weapon that you can't get otherwise, like that's ridiculous to
Yeah.
me.
Well, I know with Heroes of the Storm, it's the game itself is free. You can buy bundles of heroes, but the heroes also rotate. Every what is it? Every week, every couple weeks.
Every week they rotate which heroes are free.
Right.
It's I believe 6 heroes are free.
Yeah.
I'm not
And
100% sure because I actually own them all now.
right. Wow. That's
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
even know what to say about that. Um, but again, in that you can earn in-game currency and grinding your butt off eventually unlock every character and skins you can unlock with experience. Um, but yeah, but you could also buy fake money for real money and unlock everything. But because of how that game works, you're not buying an advantage, you're just buying more content. Um, which it's not like Call of Duty, like you can't if your friend doesn't have this character and or if you have a character and your friend doesn't have that character, you can still play together. If you don't have that character, you can still play with somebody who has that character. If that makes sense. So I think that's a real, smart way of doing that too. And then you go to Blizzard's other game, Overwatch, which was a $60 game.
Mhm.
Um, and you can unlock loot crates with experience, or you can buy them with real money. So I mean, it can go both ways. It can work in both scenarios. You just, you know, I'm not the best person. I'm such a Blizzard fanboy. I would I don't really think they do much wrong in my opinion, but you
the
know,
the one thing that really scares me deep down is Activision bought Blizzard. That scares me so much. I know that doesn't mean anything right now,
yeah,
but I feel like with Call of Duty failing, they might try to tighten that rope a little bit.
I doubt it.
So who knows?
I seriously doubt it.
They said they already bought them, right?
They've been
Yeah,
part
that
of it for
happened a
a
while
while.
ago.
Yeah.
So if Activision was smart, which maybe we're starting to doubt whether they are or not, they would know to leave Blizzard the hell alone and let them do what they do best, which is make addictive shit and take people's money
Yeah.
happily, to take people's
I
happily
think it's
handed
more
over
catch the
money.
money that people are throwing at them,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
taking
that's
people's
probably
money.
it. I mean,
Well,
I guess I stay away from Blizzard, and it's not like I have anything against them, other than like the early days of working in the call center and watching how many people's lives were completely destroyed by World of Warcraft, and like knowing the kind of person that I am and how easily I would get addicted to something like that. I feel like it's almost as dangerous as like crack or heroin or
Yeah.
and I've just kind of made the effort to not let myself get into it.
Sure.
Same with Overwatch. I see people at work that are like, I'm getting into competitive play.
It's so good. I can't stop.
oh, they just announced like the Overwatch League, so they're gonna like
Yeah,
fully legit like
I'm gonna take a second and
professional.
talk about that and how awesome that is. Thank you for bringing because BlizzCon was this weekend and I bought the pass and like every year I buy the pass and I have barely watched any of the content because I've been doing a million other things. So hopefully I'll watch it all throughout the week because it goes for a while. Um, yeah, so the Overwatch League, basically they're setting it up like any professional sports team. You'll have teams in a bunch of different major cities. I don't think they ever really said how many cities, but you'll have the, Cleveland Overwatch team, you'll have the San Francisco Overwatch team, you'll have the New
Oh my
York Overwatch
gosh.
team, and there's, they the players are treated like professional athletes. They sign contracts. they get a salary, they get benefits.
Oh my gosh. Is there
They
gonna be like expansion fees when new
there's
teams want to
Yeah,
enter?
I'm sure there will be. There's going to be a draft. There's going to be a
Oh.
combine. So it's they draw from professional players now, obviously, and uh, talent in the community. If you're a streamer or if you're just a high ranked player, you can go to one of these combines, these tryouts, and try out, and the owners of the teams will be there. Who There are some real legit owners like Mark Cuban and Alex or oh god, they're all
Mark Cuban's
Mark.
buying an
Oh,
Overwatch
Mark
team?
Cuban's already has, and Shaquille O'Neal. They are in part of a team that's already going, and yeah, it's
Wow.
like a legit. They're gonna be like seasons, and
I'm like fascinated. Like I'm
yeah,
amazed, but not in like the ridiculing kind of way.
no, sure.
Um I don't know. I'm excited. I think that's pretty cool. That
Well, I have a friend who thinks competitive video games is just the dumbest thing
Yeah, I
alive.
know. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and I can't wait to explain this to him and then have him try to tell me that competitive darts is more exciting than
Mike, we were over here. This is a few months ago now,
yeah,
and we were watching this like CS:GO tournament on, was it on
Counter-Strike, yeah.
ESPN?
TBS.
TBS? Um we're watching this tournament, and I it was put together pretty well. And this friend of Heath's was just like, this what is this shit? Is it, are they seriously, is this really like, no, this is ridiculous. Uh
Well, I say the same thing about sports. Like I don't understand how people watch football and baseball, but you know what I did last week? I stayed up till 11 o'clock at night on a work day, watching the Heroes of the Storm BlizzCon finale,
Mhm.
and I was watching on Twitch. I streamed it to my big screen TV, and it was me and about like 70,000 other people watching it live at like 11 o'clock at night on the
Yeah.
East Coast,
Yeah, I mean,
and
overseas, this
it
place
was insane.
yeah, overseas, it's nuts, and it's been this way for years with, like, with StarCraft and everything. They sell out arenas. I was trying to explain this to my friend, and I was like, it's a big deal. They sell out full arenas, the crowd goes crazy." He's like, "No, no. If you wanna see something cool, let me show you this video of a competitive darts. These people go crazy. Like, if you show me a dart video one more time, I'm gonna punch you in
I
the
think he was
face."
talking about bowling too, wasn't he? No, it
Oh,
was darts.
it was
It was
darts. No,
darts.
I would not forget that. Um,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the national sport in Taiwan is probably like
yeah,
StarCraft.
yeah, that's probably true. But yeah, so yeah, BlizzCon this weekend was cool. I mean, they announced new characters uh for Overwatch, new character for Overwatch, new character class coming to Diablo, bringing the Necromancer back, which I'm super excited for. That was my go-to in Diablo 2. Um, New maps in Overwatch, new game modes in Overwatch. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. Um, if you're into any of the Blizzard stuff, I would recommend going on YouTube and looking up at the very least the opening ceremony, which I think you can find. I think that was free as part of their whole weekend, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere on the internet. And it's just a quick rundown of everything that's kind of going on and the new stuff they have, and it was really really cool. And the way that they intro, I don't know if did you see the opening ceremony at all, Mike?
No, I actually didn't pay attention to anything other than the Heroes of the Storm
Okay.
tournaments.
So the way they introduced like their new character Sombra, which is like a hacker, themed character in Overwatch, they started playing this video. Like, let's take a look back at because it's also what 25-year anniversary. Like, let's take a look back. Here's a video we put together about the history of Blizzard, and the video starts playing, and all of a sudden, like, there's like a skipping in the track, or whoever's talking, like, kind of hiccups and blah blah blah, and I legitimately thought like, oh great, their stream sucks. My computer's gonna not be able to do this. I'm gonna have to refresh, and all of a sudden it just goes crazy and the new character pops up and it's like, I thought this was supposed to be the most secured system in the world and blah blah blah, and then it goes into this whole animated short introducing her character, and it's just awesome. I like got goosebumps because I was like, oh, they totally got me. I'm such an idiot. They got me because they've been teasing this character for a month or two,
Right.
and it's just finally getting to see her it was just awesome. So I know I'm getting really narrow into my geekdom, but I don't care. I love Overwatch so much. But
Yeah, we need to play.
yeah, we do. We really do. Um, so Halloween just happened.
Yeah.
So I want to tell you a ghost story. A real life ghost story.
I have a ghost story too.
It scared the
Let's go with
crap
yours
out of me
first.
this weekend. So this is nothing. This is just a stupid story that I have and I haven't told you yet. So I'm gonna.
Wait, this just happened this weekend?
Yes.
Like the last few days?
And on the 31st.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So the internet's gonna hear that I'm a big baby. So I have a dog, and generally she sleeps in my room. And so getting ready to go to bed, get in bed, ready to, settle down and go to sleep. And all of a sudden, both of my fire alarms in my condo go off at the same time for maybe 3 seconds, maybe 2 seconds. Just super loud, high pitched, wah, 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 and scares the shit out of me. Scares the shit out of the dog. So the dog's barking and running around when it was nice and laid down and sleeping. And it just stopped on its own. And I don't have a security system. I don't have my smoke detectors run on batteries, so they're not connected in any way. But they both went off for the same amount of time, just out of nowhere. And that wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for then the fact my dog was standing on the edge of my bed, looking up to the ceiling in the corner at nothing.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
And growling and like chuffing at nothing.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, that's
The
what I
chuffing?
call it. That's what I call it. So I'm like, she's freaking me out. And then the house, like, because, the houses make noises.
Yeah.
And because, she's all hyped up from the loud noise. So every little creak of the house, like, she's like on high alert.
Oh, wow.
She barks or she makes a noise or she runs to the door. Like, and I don't get scared easy, but dog's so stressed out. It's getting me stressed. Now I'm hearing shit.
Right.
And to the point, sorry, Mom, to the point where I got my gun out and walked around my house to see if anybody was in. It freaked me the hell out. And it was Halloween and she was barking at nothing, scared the shit out of me. I felt like I should share that with the world.
Huh.
Yeah.
Have you seen your neighbor lately?
She texted me tonight and told me my TV was too loud.
Okay.
Why, do you think she died and is haunting me?
Maybe.
She probably would. She probably would. She's like, I hate this guy so much. I'm going to haunt him for the rest of his life. No, yeah. She let me know she was alive earlier today when I was playing Titanfall. She's like, I can hear your stereo. So she's alive and well.
Is this an old?
Yeah.
Is this an old lady?
She's not
neighbor?
that old. And God, I hope she doesn't listen to this someday when she's stalking me on the internet.
We have mattresses up so she can't hear us.
Don't say we have mattresses up. Don't talk about my janky studio. Okay?
Hey, mattresses make some of the best soundproofing.
There you go.
Some of the best acoustic dampening panels.
And probably one of the most expensive ways to do it. Using a
Better than
$700
buying new
mattress
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm all about using, that's efficiency there.
Yeah, this is repurposing
That's
old
right.
furniture. So yeah, that was my ghost story, and that I'm a big sissy boy.
Yeah, I'd be freaked out. We had stuff like that when we moved into our house. And like the house that we're in now is the first house that I've ever bought, the first house that, we had ever bought. And it's like, it's ours. There's no breaking lease and moving out if
Right.
something happens. I mean, like, we're in it. And I guess, I don't know, within like a week of moving into this house, weird stuff starts happening. And it was like not vacant, but the woman that we bought it from had gotten married and was living with her husband, and so she wasn't staying at the house.
Mhm.
Nobody was staying at the house. It was on the market for like a year and no one really lived there. But it's just, I don't know, like weird stuff would happen. Like I would kind of notice there was one day we were in the living room, it was nighttime. The dining room light was off. You can look through the dining room into the kitchen. The kitchen light was on. But out of the corner of my eye, I noticed that like the kitchen light went out. I noticed out of the corner of my eye, it was dark. The kitchen light went out. The dog started growling, looking towards the kitchen. I hadn't looked over there yet, but that made me look. The light was still on. And the
That's
dog
weird.
was like freaking out. And then there was other stuff of the dog like looking up at the corner and barking.
Yeah, that
And
sucks.
coming up from the basement and hearing like what sounded like fingernails on a chalkboard from right behind me. That makes you like double time up
Oh,
the
yeah.
rest of the stairs.
Yeah. And sometimes you
Um,
just get that feeling like there's something behind you.
Yeah. And then there's like the dreams, the stuff that works its way into your dreams,
Mhm.
or I don't know what that's called. Like when you're almost asleep and then you wake up, or like the end of a dream and you wake up.
Mhm.
But the one that I remember clearly is like hearing a voice really loud. It was like the loudest sound ever, but it was a whisper. And the voice said, "I'm here." And like that woke me up.
That's
And
freaky.
then my dogs, both dogs, were barking like crazy.
Well, you know what it was? You probably said it and woke yourself up.
Maybe it was. I don't know. But like I had a hard time falling back to sleep after that.
I can imagine.
But I was afraid to be awake too.
Yeah.
So I'm telling a friend of mine this like a few weeks later. We'd been in the house for a couple months at this point, and I'm telling him about all the really crazy stuff that's going on. And he's like, "Well, yeah, it's because it's a new house, and like there's spirits everywhere." And like he's like totally into this stuff.
So your house had
And
been nobody lived in that house when you bought it?
not regularly. No one was staying in the house.
Okay. Except for that hermit in the walls, apparently.
It was being taken care of. Oh, that's a different story. And so no, this friend of mine's like, "Well, yeah, you gotta let him know that this isn't their house anymore. This is your house now." And I'm like, "So you mean I'm supposed to just like stand there and yell at
Nothing.
a nothing?"
Right.
And he's like, "Well, it's not nothing if it's bothering you."
There you go.
It's like, yeah, that's exactly what you got to do. Go to where the stuff happens the most and tell it to knock it off.
Burn some sage and
No, it wasn't. There was no sage. There was no, garlic. There was no
this
salt.
house
No brick
is
dust.
clear.
But he's like goes down to the bottom of the basement stairs and he's like, "Hey, this isn't your house anymore. You're not welcome here. You need to leave." And wouldn't you know, nothing has happened since.
Oh, there you go.
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's something to it, but I
Yeah.
just couldn't bring myself to yell at something that I feel is
That's really
maybe
funny.
more or less imaginary.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
Um,
You have any scary ghost stories?
You know what I need right about now? I need a stick, a marshmallow, and a campfire.
What?
Yeah, telling ghost stories around the campfire,
Yeah.
making roasting marshmallows, making s'mores.
Oh. No, I don't really have any ghost stories. The scariest thing I did was put a little doll on my drone and flew it around on Halloween. Scare some
Oh,
little
yeah.
kids, but that was about it.
Gordy showed me that the video. So it was a drone, and you attached like a little, what was it, a skeleton or a Grim Reaper, or what was
It
it?
was a little like ghost girl doll I found at the grocery store. It was on sale for half off because it was Halloween day and we were getting last minute candy. And I was like, hey, you know what? I bet the drone will pick that up. So I bought it and hooked it up and it worked and it was pretty fun.
Yeah. If you have any good video of that, you'll have to send it to one of us, and maybe we can put it up. Because I've
Yeah.
seen like big honking drones, like
I have
chasing
the
people
video you
around
sent
parks
me,
and
but
stuff
the
like that.
resolution on that was awful because it was like text message video.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because you have an Android phone.
I'm not getting on
I can
iMessage.
probably email you the full
Sure. We'll see
resolution.
if we
Put it in
can't get it up.
Dropbox or
Yeah.
Drive.
Oh, there we go.
You have full access to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, as far as I don't know if I believe in ghosts. Maybe that's why I don't notice stuff like that. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm weird when it comes to stuff like that.
yeah. So I've had a few weird things. I mean, and they're real bizarre. Like one time when I was pretty young. I was in, fourth or fifth grade, and I was in my sister's room, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. And she left her boombox on back when boomboxes were a thing. And she was obsessed with this Gloria Estefan freaking CD that she played all the dang time. Hate Gloria Estefan to this day. And I went to turn it off, and to this day I swear, through the speakers, somebody yelled, "Heath, get out." And it wasn't a female voice, it wasn't my sister's voice, it was a raspy male voice.
Dude, they were trolling you.
Clear as day through the speakers of the boombox. And I ran out of there so fast. I was scared. I was so terrified. Gloria Estefan terrifies me to this day. Every time I hear a Gloria Estefan song, which is far and few between these days, I have to change the channel. Yeah. Again, big baby.
That's
big
awesome.
scaredy cat.
That's awesome.
I can't do haunted houses. I'd have a heart attack.
I remember you telling the story about the cardboard cutout.
Oh my God.
Is that still here? Do you still have that?
It might be in the
Is it in the
closet.
closet?
Yeah, I think so. So my brother was going away to the in the Marine Corps, going to basic training, and his college buddies were trying to get me to get a picture of him to make like one of those life-size cardboard cutouts. So I made two, and his buddies came and took one, and I don't know why they didn't take both of them. So I had this cardboard cutout of my brother just sitting in his empty spare bedroom when he left. And I had it propped up like outside of his door, and I left for work, and I completely and totally forgot about it. And I came home, and it was dark, and I flipped the light switch on, and it, kind of illuminated up the stairs to the second floor. And I just see this silhouette of a person standing at the top of my stairs. I screamed. Like I audibly made a noise that scared me so badly that I had to like take a moment and like collect myself. It scared the shit out of me. and and then I forgot to move it. And then my mom had to come over because I got the dog right around that time. And my mom had to come over while I was at work to let the dog out because she was still a little puppy. And I even reminded her, I was like, "Now, Mom, there's a cardboard cutout at the top of the stairs. I forgot to move it. So when you go in there, it's going to be up there. Don't let it scare you like it scared me." And she called me. She's like, I fucking hate you. You scared the shit out of me, this stupid thing. I was like, "I told you to be ready for it."
I even warned you.
Oh, and I think it's in the closet right over here. And I opened up the closet one time, and the dog was in here with me. And the dog lost her mind because she saw it come, like fell out of the closet. So yeah, and then my brother came home to visit, and when he left, he brought it out and he put it in his bed, and only the head was sticking out. So it was like his head was on the pillow.
Oh man.
And that made me double take when I walked past his empty room and when he left. My brother's an asshole. That's the moral of this story.
See, all that does is makes me want to get a cardboard cutout of myself made.
Yeah. It's
So I
pretty
can,
fun
like-
when you're using it as a weapon and not scaring the crap out of yourself.
Yeah. No, I want to like hide it in my closet until, I don't know, like get it out and set it behind somebody and
Put it in the shower.
run away. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. We'll make that video someday. Scaring our loved ones with cardboard cutouts of
Sooner
ourselves.
rather than later. I'm starting a YouTube channel where I make a bunch of stuff. That's
There you
gonna
go.
be one of them.
More on that. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for this week. I know we rambled on about some nonsense topics, but that's kind of what this is. So, again, get involved. Leave comments in the comment section. Uh, you can find us now on SoundCloud at Cross Platform XP and on Facebook at Cross Platform XP as well. Um, and we try to be as active on Facebook, or I try to be as active on Facebook as I can. So comment on the posts that I make. Let me know what you think about stuff. If there's anything you want us to talk about, please let us know and give us a topic, and we will gladly discuss it ad nauseum to the best of our abilities. So for us here at Cross Platform, I'm that one Heath,
40 mils.
And Mike.
and we will see you next week.